We're thrilled to have Colleen here. But before I introduce her, I'll just let you know I'm Carrie Daly. I head sales for the East Coast for a company called Volta, and we're a network of digital screens that are in front of high traffic retail and entertainment locations. So these 7-foot tall kiosks that you might have seen in front of Whole Foods or Kroger, CVS, Six Flags, stadiums, arenas, a whole host of different environments. So I'm super excited to interview Colleen about a recent campaign that they did this summer, but I'll give a little background first. She's the digital media and marketing lead for Women's Shave at Edgewell, personal care. She has over 15 years experience in digital and social media marketing and has had prior roles at Henkel, Macy's, and Hasbro. So some pretty hefty brands and has done some really cool things. So she's a passionate digital industry advocate and has been instrumental in bringing digital innovations such as advanced programmatic, influencer and content marketing, interactive rich media, and personalized one-on-one video campaigns to digital media. So Colleen's championed creative innovations, including original branded YouTube entertainment series, data-driven music partnerships, one of which we're going to talk about today, podcasts, and creator-led social content. So clearly ahead of the game when it comes to combining social influences and passion points into marketing campaigns. And we're thrilled to talk to you this afternoon. Did I miss anything?
I don't think so. Great to be here. Can everybody hear me?
Okay, cool. So this campaign is super fun, has a million layers, and really taps into the season of music festivals, music tours this summer, and really very timely, and uncover just multiple ways to engage with the brand that even I think Colleen's team hadn't envisioned when they started this partnership with Cassidy Pope. So how does partnering with a music artist like Cassidy align with your brand values and specific consumer segments that you guys were looking to reach that aligns with your target audiences?
Sure. So within the Women's Shave brands, or the Shave brand portfolio at Edgewell, it's primarily the Chic brand. So within the Chic brand portfolio, we have Chic Hydro Silk, Chic Intuition, Chic Man, and then Skintimate. So each of our brands has a different demographic and a different focus. The Cassidy Pope campaign that we're going to talk about, we'll show you too, a little rock and roll to end the afternoon. I hope you enjoy it. This Chic Intuition brand is mainly focused on an audience that we call the solution seeker. And this razor is kind of unique because it has a shave bar built in. So it's 2-in-1, no need for shave gel. You just run it under the faucet and it activates the shave bar. You don't need shaving cream. So the audience that we were really interested in pursuing here, we call the solution seeker. So this is a woman who is very focused on her personal care. She wants to look good, she wants to feel good, but she's at that stage in her life where she may not have as much time to pursue all of that as she did in the past. Maybe she's a new mother. Maybe she's just moved to a city and starting an intense new job. Whatever that pull is on her time, she's looking for something that can help her maintain that personal care routine, but also do it in an efficient way. So we were really looking for solutions for this solution seeker and looking for ways to break through in the marketplace. And also pursuing that really unique audience of 25 to 35 that they're still out there, they're still having fun, they're still going out with their friends, but they're on that cusp of like changing their life stage where maybe new responsibilities are coming into play and they're moving into that solution seeker audience. So that was really the audience that we were looking to find answers for as we started developing our media campaign.
Okay, that's great. And where did the idea even come from to kind of know you wanted this audience, you wanted to leverage kind of these passion points, really hit that person on the go? What was the genesis of it? And how did you bring it? And I think one of the challenges that a lot of marketers face are all those silos that you have when you're, where they talked about it, upper funnel versus lower funnel versus creative, what they want to do versus, kind of looking at things from an omni-channel standpoint. How did the agency work with you to either, come up with the idea and then bring all those constituents together to deliver on, this multi-month, multimedia campaign?
Yeah, we really wanted to make a big impact with this campaign. We kind of considered which approach do we want to take. Do we want to be a little more conservative and just really lean into reach and frequency, or do we want to try to make a big splash that's going to gain attention for what is essentially a little bit more of a challenger brand? And we decided with Havas's support, that's my agency, that we were going to take a big swing. This was a brand that we were willing to take a risk on, to make a big splash, to do something a little different, and get noticed. And it's interesting because the tagline of the brand is, it's different in a good way. So we wanted to do a media campaign that was different in a good way. So we started along with Havas and Havas Play, which is their ideation arm, to come up with territories. We explored many of them, and ultimately we decided that music would be a good place to reach this woman who is either new to the brand or remind her of the brand and get her to look at the brand in a slightly different way. So they helped us vet through a bunch of different ideas, and we ultimately landed on the idea of going on tour with this musician who was kind of coming back to the stage with a new sound. She had been a country artist when she won The Voice several years back, and she was reinventing herself as a rock musician. So we actually worked with Havas Play to come up with a partner who was a data-led partner that helped us lean into their data engine. The part is called Max Music Audience Network, that helped us kind of vet through artists, putting in our demo information, our geo information, who we were trying to reach, and helped match us up with the right artists.
That's great. And I know we talked about the age group. It was important to find people that were watching her at The Voice at that time and who have aged, later, almost 10 years later, that would resonate, that name would resonate versus current, 18.
Yeah, that was part. I don't think we got that specific, but I think that was one of the benefits of using the data engine. It helped us focus in on who are the artists at each tier that are attracted to that specific audience we were trying to reach. And out of that, we sort of explored which artists we would use. The partner that we worked with through Havas Play also had a great artist outreach capability, that they wanted to make sure the artists we were working with really cared about the brand in a meaningful way and weren't just doing it to do it or doing it as a job, but like it really made sense for them and their life and what they were doing, to increase that sense of authenticity.
Right. And we talked about that before in terms of branded spots and promoted spots on social, and how, they used to be branded and, a couple of years ago you could tell exactly. Now that's sort of a gray area. So making sure it was authentic, I think, is important because people are going to pick up on it right away, if it's not. This campaign, as we said, had a lot of different layers. So where did digital and video and content, all of that kind of factor in to help amplify what you guys were doing on the road, and product placement and, all of those pieces?
Yeah, when I talked about it internally and when we used to discuss it with our agency and within the internal team, I would stress this was primarily a media campaign. So we knew we wanted to be putting out significant impressions that would help drive our consideration of brand affinity. But we also were a little bit challenged with content, so we wanted a campaign or a partner that would bring a lot of amazing content to the plan as well. But starting from that media perspective, being at the crux of the campaign, and then we just sort of built it out from there with several different capabilities, including in-house organic social, PR. We had an experiential piece in which we went on tour with the artist on a 14-city tour this summer.
That's great. And measurement has been a big part of every presentation today. How did you measure? What were the KPIs? What came out of that you were able to take a look at and say, okay, this worked, this didn't work. Let's lean into this, let's tweak this. How did that work?
Yeah, measurement was very important. It was really important for us. And with the Havas team, we worked together to lay out a very specific measurement plan. We were very happy to have a Kantar Millward Brown brand of study included in this because it was brand building, it was upper funnel. We wanted to really understand how well this campaign was resonating with the audience. We felt like that study was a key piece of it, and we're very pleased to see that it did beat all of the Kantar norms across affinity, purchase intent, and brand awareness, so that was good. And then we're also looking at, of course, all the media metrics, the video view time, the social engagement, the social listening. It was really cool to see all the comments on YouTube and on our social channels as well to understand how our audience was reacting to the campaign.
So that's great. And you shared when we had our call earlier to prep that a lot of her fans responded. She was posting on her own just how thrilled she was with the product. And a lot of her fans were so happy for her and genuinely excited about trying the product. And that was like an added benefit that you weren't really anticipating.
I think one of my favorite comments we saw on social was, "Oh shit, this campaign's gonna rock." Okay, good. They got the brand name. That was good. But I would love to show the video of the campaign just so you guys can get a better idea of how it was.
You said you'd never tell me goodbye. You lost in the dark, I guess you were right. When I was 4 years old, I started taking voice lessons. I fell in love with singing right away. It was like love at first note. It was literally from that day on, I was like, this is what I'm going to do with my life. I think what makes my music unique and different is I've got a lot of influences. My parents love classic rock, but a lot of my family grew up listening to country music as well. Preparing for a big show is usually where I just take time to myself, and I will obviously do my hair and makeup. That will be part of my routine. I really treat that like my sacred time to be quiet. Maybe I need a last minute shave, so I get my razor out, I do that, and then my favorite part, I get to play the show. I love the Schick Intuition Sensitive Care Razor because it's got the 2-in-1 feature, lathers and shaves in one easy step. I love that it's made with organic aloe and moisturizes during shaving. It's a really great fix for me. Sometimes I forget to shave and I decide I need to wear a skirt or shorts on stage last minute, and this is a great solution for that.
So that was just one of the, thank you. That was just one of the 13 pieces of content that came along with this media program. So it was very efficient for us in terms of getting that media plan, which was the center of it, but also getting a lot of amazing content with a very wonderful artist who was so great to work with. I don't know if you guys noticed, but she even dressed to match our product. We didn't ask her to do that. She showed up on set with 2 outfits that coordinated with the product. So, I mean, she was dedicated. She was also highly articulate. None of that was scripted. We gave her talking points, but, you know, she has that clear voice, really highly articulate artist who really, you know, was leaned into the campaign. And again, because it was that early vetting process where they make sure that the artist they're working with believes in the brand and sees usefulness in the brand. So we were very happy to have worked with Cassidy.
And I think this was a great example, this campaign, of 2 themes that came up today that I wrote down. The importance of emotional affinity, you know, like that came through loud and clear. And then the other one that Karen spoke about from Calvin Klein, the 360-degree moment, talking about the aura. It's not a 360-degree media plan, right? Which maybe because I'm in ad sales, that's where my head goes. But they talked about it more, the 360-degree kind of moment of the aura of the person that you were highlighting.
Yeah, and in this case, it was both. We maxed out every channel that we could. So we had the media program, we had the content, we had the tour, the experiential branded presence at her tour. There was a screen at each one of her concerts that you could scan a QR code and land on a branded experience to obtain a free razor and then explore the product some more, as well as obtain signed merchandise from Cassidy Pope, so there was another draw for her fans. But then our internal team at Edgewell was fantastic in bringing a robust PR campaign that yielded us millions of impressions. And then also we did some Get Ready With Me influencer content of 3 different influencers across the country who were getting ready to go to the show. And we were able to post that on our own channels as well. So we approached it 360 to the greatest degree we could, and it also aligned with the moment of Cassidy reinventing herself, going out on a smaller tour over the summer months where people are shaving, and where she had a need to shave when she was traveling on this very intensive tour.
Yeah, it all comes through, and you can.
All came together.
It did all come together. From a measurement standpoint and a funnel standpoint, I know you said you did a brand lift study, but were you able to gauge, you know, in the markets where we did promote, we saw an increase in sales, you know, are you able to get any of that lower funnel performance?
Yeah, we're really fortunate that we have an in-house data and analytics team that, you know, the measurement channel was talking about having a clean room, and we do have one, and we've set that up, and we're starting to bring a lot of those capabilities internal so that we can measure sales lift internally. So that was a great resource to be able to have. And then also we got the data from the QR code interactions at the concerts. So that was something we were able to hand over to our CRM team after the user had opted in to receive future messages from the brand, and then we can build lookalike audiences off of that. So we were able to get a lot of intel and data from this campaign.
Okay, great. One of the things that was in one of the last presentations that Doug Jensen mentioned was 86% of marketers care about iROAS. Right? Was that, I think that was the 86, 87? So how is that, knowing all of those pieces, and we didn't talk about this yet, but can you shed any light on what you're thinking about for 2025?
Yeah, I mean, efficiency is really important for us. Of course, we look at ROAS. We always want to be optimizing to ROAS in real time if possible. I think we like to look at all of the brand metrics. The previous panel talked about brand health as well as your lower funnel. And when you're doing a campaign like this that includes both, it's all these different touch points. It is a little bit of a challenge to pull it all together and to measure it collectively. That's where it takes a lot of internal work and piecing things together and drawing conclusions. And again, grounding it in that brand lift study that really gave us some solid methodology behind determining that lift.
Well, I think it's an enviable position to be in, to be able to, pull that off, see sales results, do something super fun, timely, and find something that was so emotionally tied and brand presence tied to, what Schick stands for, Schick Intuition specifically.
Yeah, we did want to make an emotional connection. I mean, we have a great product, and we talk about the features and benefits and the steel blades and titanium coated and all the benefits of the product. And I think people know that we have pretty high brand awareness. So for us, it was like, then how do we take that next step and get them to really start caring about our brand beyond functionality? And I think this was a good first step in the right direction for that.
Yeah, it was super fun. I think that's all the questions I have. Anything else that we missed that you want to add? I think so. All right. I guess we'll put it out to the crowd. Any questions?
Excuse me.
Yeah, sure. So it was a capability of the Max Music Audience Network. It was called Set.Live. And it's a capability that was originally conceived to help artists understand who's coming to their shows. So it gives people an opportunity who are attending shows to connect with the artist. So I think some concert goers are familiar with it or have seen it before. So we had a screen at every concert, 14 city tour. We had Cassidy make a video saying, hey everybody, it's Cassidy, scan the QR code, you'll be entered to win a basket of merchandise from me, and you can get a free Schick Intuition razor, and be sure to scan the code. And they played that like a couple of times during each gig. And so there was like an incentive for the user to scan because, first of all, Cassidy was telling them to, and it was a chance to get merchandise from her. And then once they scanned, they landed on a pretty heavily branded environment with her on it, but like within our color scheme and with our product. So if they wanted to explore it a little more, they could.
And it makes so much sense, I feel like, because the first stop is always the swag. Like, we got to go to the merch.
We learned that.
Right. Exactly.
Colleen, thank you so much for sharing such a great story. One of the things as marketers that we think about is if you have such an activation and a brand ambassador that works really well, do you maintain that relationship with them, right? Or do you jump to the next person? So how are you guys thinking about it? Would you want to continue your relationship with Cassidy and build deeper connections with her and her following? Or do you not think that necessarily where she's going to go next is fitting the story that you want to tell for the brand?
I think she was a great fit for the brand, and again, it was all led by data, which is why it ended up being such a good fit, or she did. I think we're ideating. There's always the possibility that we could build on this. We've had some great ideas from some of our influencer partners of, what if we had her judge a singing contest on social media, just the way she was judged on The Voice. So I think it's a jumping off point for a lot of great creative brainstorming. I think that's, it's always great to build upon a campaign that you've had, but at the same time, our ambitions and goals are always changing too in terms of what we're specifically going after, so that can change from season to season.
All right, you guys, I think we have one or two more before cocktails, so we'll keep it moving. So, thank you.